Namaskar, I am Dr. Shambhalingappa, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies, VTU's Center for PG Studies, Kalaburgi. Today I am going to present you on organizational behavior and what are the contents and all, we'll discuss. This module has got so many sub-points. It starts with introduction, meaning, history of organizational behavior, organizational effectiveness, organizational learning process, need for studying OB. So wherever OB comes, we have to invariably understand it is organizational behavior. So we will not repeat OB is for organizational behavior and all. So it is goes without saying. So let's understand what is this OB is all about. So organizational behavior is the study of what people think, feel and do in and around organizations. As you know, organizations are group of people who work interdependently towards some purpose. This organization, what we are talking and what we are studying pertains to the developments that have taken place in the last 150 years to 200 years. Before that, before the onset of Industrial Revolution, there was a concept of organization. But the concept of organization about 100, 150, 200 years ago was different from that of today. After this Industrial Revolution took place in Europe and North America, the various things have undergone metamorphosis. Earlier, organizations were limited only to the extent of the families. Whether it is artisans, rural craftsmen, they used to take care of each and everything within their family. See, the businesses or the professions used to restrict only to the families. But after this Industrial Revolution, the families or the kind of organizations that we had earlier, they were disintegrated. In the history of human beings, we never seen thousands of people coming together and working for some cause. But that started happening after this Industrial Revolution. The concept of factory started. Okay, so that is how the organizational behavior, the concept of modern organization that has slowly started emerging, and what we are going to study or is the part of the syllabus is all pertains to the developments that have taken place in the last 2 centuries. So therefore, organization is the study of what people think, feel and do good in and around organizations. So organizations, again the same thing, are a group of people who work interdependently towards some purpose. Then let's see what are the various definitions given by the experts in OB area. According to Keith Davies, organizational behavior is a study and application of knowledge about how people as individuals and a group act within the organization. It strives to identify ways in which people can act more effectively. Okay. So before that, so let's understand what is this the organization is all about. So organization consists of primarily individuals. So the group of individuals form the bunch of individuals make a group, and so many groups become organizations. So when we study about the individuals, and our group, that all pertains to the organization itself, because individuals, a group of individuals make a group, and a group of many groups of become organization. So ultimately what it strives to do is that how people act or work more effectively. So it all talks about efficiency. The organizational behavior, it talks about efficiency and effectiveness, and we'll see or discuss in the next couple of slides. Then Fred Luthans, one of the pioneer, and you will find a lot of books written by him on organizational behavior. He defines it is the understanding, prediction, and management of human behavior that affect the performance of the organization. So ultimately it surrounds the human behavior and how the human behavior happens in an organization that depicts the performance of the organization. So that is why it is the study of understanding, prediction, and management of the human behavior that affect the performance of the organizations. Now let's see how the multidisciplinary definition of OB has evolved. Like we have seen, OB is nothing but studying individuals and groups and at the organization level to measure their performance. So OB indicates that behaviors of people operate at individual, group, and organizational levels. Second one is that it is multidisciplinary. We were discussing about the origins of OB. In the initial forming years of industrial revolution, they talked about only the machines, the efficiency of labor, and the interaction with the machines, and the flow of factories and all. Later on, they started slowly focusing on the human aspects of the factory system. So that is why, so in the initial years it was not very much keenly focused on the human aspects. So later on they started focusing on because after once they started people started working in hundreds and thousands in a factory setup, so many new problems started arising, and the majority of the problems were pertaining to of course, in addition to the machine related problem, but it also pertained to the individuals and the workers. So that is why the focus slowly shifted on the human beings or the workers. So that is why the OB is considered as multidisciplinary. It uses the various principles, the various models, the theories, the methods from other disciplines. So we'll all discuss which are the other disciplines or the domains have contributed immensely to the development of the organizational behavior as a separate domain. Next, then third, there is a distinctly humanistic orientation within the organizational behavior. So, humanistic orientation. If there is no human element involved in any organization or in any setup, so then there is no place for OB. Of course, without human beings, there cannot be any organization. As of now, we cannot think about that one. Then the fourth one is the field of OB is performance oriented. Effectiveness, efficiency will lead to the performance. So we all study about how this group of individuals and the teams lead to the overall performance of the organization. So it all talks about performance right from Frederick Winslow Taylor. So we all regard him as the father of father of scientific management, because he proved scientifically that if you make these changes, these are the positive changes that is going to make an impact on the workers as well as the organization. So he is proved like how a person lifts the coal and takes it to the air, and how there and he also ascertained what is the maximum load that an labor can take, and how it can improve the performance of their labor as well as the performance of the organization. So he proved, and accordingly that is he proved scientifically that if you do like this it is what it happens. And people tried and tested, including Vladimir Lenin of Russia in 1916. He said that you should also, even the Russia Soviet Union should also follow his principle, F.W. Taylor's principle, so that the efficiency of the workers as well as the organization increases. So that is how we regard him as the father of scientific management. And here also it is the field of OB is performance oriented. Taking all the domains from the various discipline, that is all meant to understand the human behavior, and of course how it has evolved and all we'll discuss. In spite of taking so many things from various disciplines, if the performance of the organization doesn't increase, so then there is no meaning of studying OB. So OB pertains or talks about the increasing performance, increasing OB tools, methods, models to enhance the performance of the individuals and groups. Then fifth, the external environment is seen as having significant effect on organizational behavior. So whomever we are talked about till now, that is individuals, groups and organization, they all part and parcel of organization. So here individuals are there, here groups are there, and they make the organization. But outside this environment, outside the organization, there is an environment, there is an economy, there is a society, there is an industry, there is a competitors, there are vendors. There are so many people who are also connected with the organization. So that is also must be looked at it. So without seeing or examining the external environment, it becomes very difficult for OB to study. So OB per se cannot be studied in an isolation manner. You have to club within the organization as well as outside the organization, whether it is the economy or competitors or vendors or the society, so on and so forth. Next point is sixth one, that is the field of OB relies heavily on recognized disciplines. The scientific method is important in studying variables and relationships. Now, the recognized disciplines like anthropology, sociology, psychology have immensely contributed for the development of OB as a separate domain or a subject. So here there is still argument that whether OB is a science or art. If you ask me, it's a combination of both. OB cannot become the science like mathematics or physics where 2 plus 2 becomes 4. Here OB pertains to the study of individuals, and as we all of us know that individuals are not one and same. Each and every individual is unique in his own nature. So hence that method cannot be completely adopted or applicable here. And at the same time, you cannot totally deny that it doesn't involve any scientific methods or things in that one. Whatever the theories that have emerged that we are advocating or teaching in our classes, they all have got the studies have proved that whether it is Hawthorne experiment or any other things and all. So they all they have come to a conclusion based on some sort of scientific methods or study. So it is a combination of both. So therefore it relies heavily on, although it relies heavily on recognized disciplines, so the scientific method is important in studying variables and relationships about various disciplines. So till now we have discussed about the various things pertaining to the multifunctionality of OB and all those things. So now we will go forward and understand the foundations of organizational behavior. So till now we have studied the multidisciplinarity of OB and also the contributions or the definitions given by the various experts in the OB. In the next session, we will see the foundations of OB.